Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 8th. We're going to jump right in here, Cancer, and see what is going on for you at this time, and that'll be that. But Cancer, let's see. I actually kind of like that you start off with the Ten of Swords because, sorry, some of these cards have been flipped around for some reason, but, and I don't read reversals anyway, but the Ten of Swords is kind of like the end of something, and there's clearly a new beginning coming in for you. You have the World, the Ace of Swords as well, so this could be like a really good reading, and you have a lot of good cards, Wheel of Fortune, good stuff. So you start off with the Ten of Swords. I kind of get the feeling, for some of you, I'm going to be honest, I feel some of you could like maybe have a desire to have a person come back into your life, right? I don't do X-back readings for a reason. I really don't do love readings in general unless it shows up in a reading. And again, you do have some love stuff showing up here. I have a feeling that if you're wanting someone back from the past, this could be a stepping stone soulmate. And again, I'm not saying they're not going to come back. Again, I feel like we can control our own reality. If you want someone back, I feel like you could probably manifest it to happen. I'm not suggesting it, but I feel like it's possible. Although, what I would say is that judging by what I see here, I feel like you're ending it, moving on to something else. But again, take it how it resonates. But I do feel like something came to a difficult ending here with the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords, he's making a symbol right here with his hands. It represents a blessing. So I do feel like there are blessings coming in for you. Also, I would say that if a situation is ending in your life, or has ended, which I do believe it has, the King of Pentacles, here's the thing. The King of Pentacles is your crossing energy. King of Pentacles is pretty boring, if I'm being honest with you. So if this was a person, it could have been a boring-ass person. Maybe they weren't a bad person. Maybe they were stable. But King of Pentacles is always the same. That gets old after a while. Hearing the same dad jokes day in, day out gets a little boring, right? Gets a little bit old. You can only deal with that for so long. So if this was a person, that could be an issue. If this is another situation, I do feel that some of you, maybe you recently quit a job, or maybe you're looking to quit a job or change your job, or something along those lines. What I would say is, again, I feel like what you are leaving behind is a little bit old, a little bit stale anyway, and I feel like what you're moving towards is clearly much newer. Knight of Pentacles, the World, the Ace of Swords, that's exactly what the energy wants us to do anyway. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Two of Cups, so you could be thinking this person was a soulmate. You have the Two of Cups here. Two of Cups is like a perfect match for sure. They have the Staff of Hermes right here, so there could have been some issues. I kind of feel like there might have been ego issues if this was a relationship that has recently ended, or that's something you've been thinking about for a while. For others, this, again, I kind of feel this could be a stepping stone soulmate. Stepping stone soulmates, usually we feel a deep connection with, and we probably want them back because they remind us a lot of us. To know if it's a stepping stone soulmate, usually if we look at the person, they have either gone through, or, really when we meet them, they've probably been going through or are going through something like a very similar experience to something that maybe we experienced years ago. The example I always use is like maybe you had money problems years ago. Maybe they're having very similar money problems right now. So the reason they're stepping stone soulmate is because they remind us of that time that we went through, whatever it was, and they just kind of serve as reminders. But the problem is that usually a stepping stone soulmate, because we kind of relate to them because they went through something like we did, so we kind of develop a strong bond with stepping stone soulmates, and I kind of do feel that here. The other thing I'm feeling here is that I feel like your ideas, it's not really what this card means, but I feel like you need to not sell yourself short. I feel like I say this to you all the time, Cancer. And what I would say is that sometimes, it's like you and your higher self, the Two of Cups. And I feel like you could be getting some ideas that maybe feel a little bit, out of reach, feel a little bit futuristic. Maybe they feel like a little bit too innovative as well, which could be happening with the energy that we're dealing with. You could feel like you just lack the resources, is kind of what I'm getting here. But really, in the area of your foundation, you have the Emperor, which really says it's time to take action. It's time to get moving. You will be successful. He's ready to go, the Emperor. And, pretty much any way I take this reading, if I go this way from the Two of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles says it's time to get moving. It's time to get going. Knight of Pentacles, it's like he has all the knowledge he needs, but he just needs to plant his seeds in those fields behind him. If we go this way, Emperor, it's like you're ready for action. Wheel of Fortune, once you take control, you're going to achieve your goals. This is like down and dirty tarot with Chris right now, but, down and dirty tarot, not really focusing on the meanings too much and just looking at it. looks pretty much like a victory to me here, Cancer. So I would get moving. In the area of your past, you do have the Lovers. Funny enough, like I said, you could be moving past love. If you're not moving past love, you could be moving past something that you once loved, and you could be moving towards something new to love, but maybe it's not very clear. You can see this cloud right here. This is your higher self angel right here. And these clouds might be kind of preventing you from seeing like where it is you're going, what you're doing. Again, this to me fits in very well with the astrology that we're basically all dealing with right now anyway. So I kind of feel maybe there's just a general lack of clarity and you're kind of having to operate based off of faith or something else, right? Next, in the near future, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like your fortunes are changing with the Wheel of Fortune and things might start going your way. But I always say we have to take control with the Wheel of Fortune. We have to use our powers of manifestation, our vibrations, and we really have to kind of align with what it is that we want. I kind of like have been encouraging people to really, I know it's kind of hard, but it's like to just focus on the bigger energies and not so much like alignment. I feel like that word gets overused anyway, the whole alignment thing, like what the hell does that mean? But, I would just focus on like, happiness, joy, your bliss, following your bliss, love, of course, like all those things. I would focus on those bigger energies and try to suck up as much of that energy as you possibly can. That's usually how we kind of get things turning in our favor with the Wheel of Fortune. Over the next few months, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, he has these green leaves on his helmet here, and the green leaves, they represent oak leaves, they represent knowledge and wisdom. He could easily be planting his seeds in these fields behind him here, but he just needs to get to work. So I feel like it's time for you to get to work here, Cancer, and to start planting your seeds. It's kind of like a card of playing it safe and being too cautious. I like to encourage people right now to not play it safe. Obviously, if you watch me for a while, I'm always telling people like it's a good time to take a risk, like a calculated risk, something that you're prepared for. We're not talking about crazy risk here. We're talking about the risk of putting yourself out there, like the risk of doing your first YouTube video, the risk of starting your business, the risk of telling a person you love them, right? Something like that. So those are the types of risks that we should be taking at this time. And I like to encourage people as well. You might have a failure, but guess what that means? That means you do it again, right? You get right back up on the horse. If you tell a person you love them and they say, what, you're ugly, I don't want to talk to you, right? That's not going to happen, obviously, Cancer. That's like the worst case scenario. That's not going to happen, number one. But number two, if it doesn't work out, it says do it again, right? Because again, we are meant to learn from these situations. Again, so many people ask me like, should I tell this person I like them? I'm like, what, are you just going to hold it in this whole entire time? Like, imagine if we had to imagine if we looked like our emotions, right? We would all be walking around like we're constipated because it's like we have all these feelings for people and we don't tell them, right? So we're just holding that energy in. It's like you might as well let it out. You got to get it out, right? Plain and simple. And that's what this Knight of Pentacles is, constipated. He's saying something has to come out here, Cancer. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is moving on to calmer shores. I feel like there are definitely improvements coming in for you. I almost feel like you're being guided at this time as well. This guy here, he represents a guide. He kind of is the ferryman in this boat, and he goes back and forth between the choppy waters. So in the area of your closest relationships, like friends, family, your community, things like that, I feel like you're being guided, obviously, with the Six of Swords. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the World card here. Feeling like you're accomplishing things, feeling like you're feeling good as well. The thing is, I had a crazy ass portal dream last night, actually. I'm shooting this video on August 1st, and we had that crazy ass stellium in Taurus. So, basically, I had this crazy dream that I was running through this house, and I was looking for these portals. I don't really know what was on the other side of these portals, but anyway, I feel, I've been talking about portals a lot. That's probably why I had the dream. And also, the world comes up a lot. The world is basically a portal. We go through the tarot. We start as the Fool, basically, and we follow the Fool's journey all the way to the world, and then we just go through the portal of the world, and we start over as the Fool again. So, it's kind of a card of completion, starting a new beginning, or stepping through some sort of portal, or ending a cycle, which we see right here. You have the Wheel of Fortune and the World, both very similar cards, and they both kind of represent either a cycle beginning, a cycle ending, take it how it resonates, but I kind of feel like you're upgrading here. And the reason I say that you're upgrading is the Ace of Swords, obviously. Ace of Swords is a victory. It is a success. And it's also a card of balance as well. So I really like this reading for you so far. Pisces kind of had a little bit of a challenging reading, so it's nice to see you have like a nice reading. But let's see what's going on here. With the Ten of Swords and the King of Pentacles, again, I feel like you are ready for action. It kind of makes sense to me. There is like a good amount of like Aries energy, even though Jupiter is going to be retrograding out of Aries, especially next year. So it kind of makes sense to me that the universe is encouraging maybe a little bit more action, or at least being prepared. He is sitting here, he has his cloak on, but he has his armor on underneath his cloak on the Emperor. It kind of represents the fact that he is always ready to go at a moment's notice, which again, if you watch the August bonus readings, I'll link it at the end of this video. If you watch that video, pretty much everyone had something about needing to be ready for spontaneous opportunity in the month of August. There could just be, anything that you could possibly imagine. I just think that being prepared will make us very lucky. And, again, there is something to that. One of my favorite people of all time, Mitch Horowitz, he talks about this all the time, I think. I've seen multiple interviews with him where he talks about how, luck is really just being prepared for luck, right? And I feel if you're prepared, you're going to get lucky in any way you can imagine. With the Two of Cups, you have the Page of Pentacles, someone new, I'm telling you right now. Again, I don't like crushing dreams or anything like that if you're hoping to get an ex back. Like I said, I feel like we create our own reality. If you truly want an ex back, go for it. But again, for the most part, I would say this is a new person. The way that I read tarot is that the Lovers to me really truly represents new love, especially when it comes up in the past position here. And again, you have the Page of Pentacles on that Two of Cups, which really tells me, like new love basically is coming in for you. So I feel like if you went through something, probably a new person that's much better coming in for you. Also an amazing card for learning, by the way, amazing card for studiousness. With the Emperor, you have the King of Swords. Again, a lot of people have been getting the King of Swords lately as well. King of Swords is kind of like turning knowledge into wisdom. And that's how I see him sometimes. Not always. I don't feel that way. But for you, at this time, I kind of feel like he's talking about turning knowledge into wisdom, the King of Swords. He is, the difference between the two things is that, like, knowledge is knowing something, but wisdom is putting it into action. Emperor, he's clarifying the Emperor, putting it into action, kind of like learning the things that you just can't learn through not taking action, right? Again, there are, I talk about this about YouTube because that's like all I do with my life, right, is YouTube. But, there are things that I just, that if I didn't do it, I would never, that nobody teaches, not really tricks or anything like that, but they're just like little things, and this is true for everything. I mean, even I think about like learning languages, right? You can learn a language, but it's like, there's one thing to learn a language, but then you can take to that next level where you learn like the slang, you learn the words that people use that you can't really learn from a book. You have to learn it through experiencing it, right? And there are certain cultural things as well when you're learning a language. That's kind of like the King of Swords. It's like he takes it to the next level by taking action and learning all those little things. I see you doing that in your life. I think I said this to you last week as well. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Devil. Seems to be some devil energy kind of floating around this week as well. I would just be careful of the tricky stuff, and, anyone tricky, I would be careful of anything that's too good, sounds too good to be true, all that other stuff. I would be careful of tricky people trying to return to your life as well. Again, I would just keep your head on straight. I don't think this has to be anything, crazy. I would also take care of yourself. Again, I keep encouraging people to stay healthy, obviously. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice, but what I would say is I feel it's a good time to watch your health. With the Knight of Pentacles in the area of the next few months, you have the Eight of Wands. I like this. This is like quick success. Eight of Wands is a quick conclusion. I can't talk today. Or quick success. So I feel that there could be some quick successes coming in for you. But again, nothing is going to happen if you don't move with that Knight of Pentacles. It's like you have an idea. You have things that you want to do. Start planting the seeds so that you can be successful is what this is saying to me. I also feel like some of you could be moving as well. With the Six of Swords, you have the Star. Love it. Kind of like two cards of healing here, so pretty positive with the Star. I also feel like you're being guided towards the Star. Again, we're entering into, some people say the age of Aquarius. Do I personally believe that or not? I mean, technically we are entering into the age of Aquarius, but is it going to be this whole thing? I don't know. I never know with these things, right? But what I would say here is that, the whole point of Aquarius is that Aquarius wants everyone to be their own little star right here, the star card, right? Aquarius. So I just encourage everyone to shine bright, to shine their light out into the world, to do things that, can inspire people. And again, even if you inspire just one person, people always say to me, I don't want to be on YouTube or something like that. I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. If you can inspire just a person in your family to, do something, and again, you're not instructing them, you're not telling them what to do, right? You're just, by just you existing, your goal should be, putting out the energy, and if someone sucks it up, they suck it up, right? And you're not doing it through instruction. You're just doing it by existing, right? By doing that, I feel really good things are going to come to people who do that. So how do you do that? Well, you just, again, live your life. And again, if there's something that you really want to accomplish in your life that maybe is a little bit hard, a little bit scary, doesn't seem important, but probably is, that like writing a book or something like that, I would get moving with this energy for sure. With the World card, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Again, I feel a lot of you are accomplishing things that you've been working for a very long period of time. I'm telling you right now, things are speeding up. I feel like the energy is speeding up. I feel like a lot of us could be kind of accomplishing things quicker. We could be getting things done faster than we normally do. We could be seeing processes in our life speeding up in general. And again, I feel like this is just a sign of the times. I feel like the energy is just speeding up in general. So it's not like things are going to happen like ridiculously fast, but I feel like we're going to notice it. But again, I feel a lot of you could be just accomplishing things you've been hoping for a while. And finally, with that Ace of Swords, you have the Judgment card. Love it. So definitely waking up to your true purpose, or I feel like you're already awake to it. I feel like maybe you just haven't left this coffin. You can see these people are standing in their coffins, and they're not getting out of the coffin. Outside the coffin is their new life. Inside the coffin is their old life. So this whole entire reading is basically saying, move on to something new here, Cancer, because you're going to be very successful if you do. Literally, every single card says that. So thank you for being here. I'm going to end it there. Pretty straightforward and simple. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.